Yeah, he's here every day, running his baseball card shop, Double Play. Why? What's up?
I bought an OG Mickey Mantle rookie, signed by the Mick himself. Turns out it was a phony. Should have known something was up when I paid 10 G's for a card that's worth 12.6 million clams.
Oh, wow. Yeah, understandable. He's usually here by now.
Well, if you see him, tell him I want my 10 G's back. Vic's gonna take his thumbs. Capiche?
It's me, Uncle Andy!
Oh, look at this, Vic. Speaking of con man himself.
How you doing?
Hey, I want my 10 G's back for that Mickey Mantle phony. Pay up.
That card wasn't a phony. Mickey Mantle was on there. And that was a real card.
Oh, look at that, Vic. He should work children's birthday parties. Because he's a flippin' clown. The only thing he's missing is the funny shoes and nose. Yeah, but it ain't authentic, Brainiac. I want my money back. Or else.
Or else what?
Let's just say I'll have to do a little remodeling work. Catch my drift?
Oh yeah? You do home improvements? I got a bathroom that needs to be redone.
No, you idiot! I meant this 2x4 is gonna remodel your face!
Oh, that's okay. My face is fine, and it doesn't need to be redone. But I got a bathroom that does.
Oh, look at that, Vic! He's got jokes! It's comedy hour! He's being a clown again, that's funny! Oh yeah, man, I forgot to buy a ticket to the show! Hey, I'm gonna tell you the same thing Taryl's commenters tell him in the comments section. Lose the clown act, bud. It ain't funny. I want my money by tomorrow. Capiche? Come on, Vic, let's go to Portillo's. I want a beef sandwich. You're buying.
Oh, big tough guys. Hey, Taryl, what's good? How's business doing?
That guy's serious, Andy. You better come up with his 10 G's by tomorrow, or I got a feeling bad things are gonna happen to you.
Oh, him? Don't worry about it, Taryl. I got it all taken care of.
Pterodactyl here. And today's video is gonna be on this here Ferris IS 3060. It's been sitting in a barn for 3 years. Not 2 years, but 3 years. And what we're gonna do is get it running, because it's been sitting in the barn for 3 years, so you know it don't run. So the first thing we need to do is put a battery in it, because the battery is totally dead, because it's been sitting for 3 years. And just like in that movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, we're gonna try to save Ferris. So I had to run to the nearest battery place, which is Taryl Fixes All, because I'm an interstate battery dealer. So I had to walk up to the front of my shop into the showroom area and get a new battery. So we need to take this little battery hold down off of here. And I'll go ahead and hook up them terminals, and we'll crank it over and see if we can fire it out, fire it out, fire it out. Okay, we got the battery installed. So I believe this is the parking brake over here. Let's engage that parking brake. And here's the choke. I highly doubt this is going to start, but we're going to try it anyway. No. So I got to be sitting on the seat. Let's see. Because some of these you got to be sitting on the seat. Got to be sitting on the seat. All right, I got choke on. wish they were all this easy. So a customer brought this in and said, you know, it'd been sitting for 3 years in the barn and they were jumping it and they couldn't get it running, and they said it needed a fuel pump and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, when it's been sitting for 3 years, a lot of times they don't want to start. So I'm going to try it again, just to make sure. Well, let's check it over then, because they wanted serviced and all that. So when we brought it in, we had to push it in here. These tires were flat. Now I don't know if they were just flat because they were sitting in the barn, and if you know anything about tires, they slowly go flat, or maybe they got some rim leaks or something. But we aired them up. They're hard. They're hard as a carp right now. So I'm going to get the bottle of soapy water and we're going to check for leaks. So we're going to check for leaks. And you do that with just soapy water. So if you ever got a flat, all you need is a bottle of soapy water. And then we'll just sit and wait, see if we see any bubbles bubbling up anywhere. If it's got a rim leak, you know, it's gonna pop up here. And then all you gotta do is put some bead sealer on it, which you can get at an auto parts store. Because this one here looks like it's already kind of low from when we aired it up. That's my air tank, because I used a portable air tank to fill it. That's my air tank wasn't, you know, we just wanted to get enough air in it so we could get it in the shop, because they're kind of hard to move around when the tires are flat. But so far, I don't see anything. Alright, well, we could always come back to these. We can let them sit. Sometimes you got a little sit and then you come back and then all of a sudden you'll see a bunch of foam from where it's leaking. But we're going to want to service it. So that means we're going to want to change the air cleaner, fuel filter, put a new set of plugs in it, change the oil. Look at this. Huh. It's got a brand new air filter in it. So we don't need to do that. Okay. Again, we're doing all this just right on the fly here. But I don't like this, what's this here? What do we got here? Oh, we got gas. Oh, we got gas dripping. And it's from this cheap fuel filter. Oh, and it's leaking from the fuel. It's leaking from the fuel pump. The fuel pump is leaking. It's leaking from here and it's dripping down. So we need a fuel pump. All right. So that's not good. Now, the problem is, if you watched the week before's video, the problem with fuel pumps being on back order, and I don't want to use them cheap knockoff ones. But luckily, I saved one. Because remember in the video from last week, I said a customer came in, wanted to buy a couple of fuel pumps. I had 2 left. I said, you're only getting one, because when I went to go reorder, they were gonna be on back order till August. And I said, well, you're only getting one, because I don't trust them knockoff ones. Even though I could tell the customer, hey, look, we put one of them knockoff ones on there, so it ain't guaranteed, so if you have a problem, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I can do all that, but I don't want to have to do all that. I'd rather have the OEM one. So I got one left, I believe. Unless somebody here sold it on me in the meantime, but there should be one left. So we're gonna replace the fuel pump, and we're gonna replace that fuel filter, which I don't like. I don't like the looks of it. It's looking at me. Don't eyeball me, fuel filter. Don't you make eye contact with me, fuel filter. You're going away. I don't like the way that fuel filter is looking at me. Get out of here, fuel filter. Okay, I got one left of these OEM brakes and scrap them. This is the shop pack number, 4271. You get 5 of them in this bag. The individual part number is 808656. This is what we charge as of now. I'm sure this price is going to change when I get the new ones. But I like using the OEM one because it's a Mikuni. An actual Mikuni, made in Japan, not in China. I trust Mikuni. They made motorcycle carburetors and all that stuff. So it's an OEM one. It's got the little Briggs emblem on it. This is the exact same fuel pump that Kroller sells, but they sell it at a much higher price. What you want to make sure is the porting is the same, because some of these Mikuni fuel pumps, the fuel fittings or the porting are in different locations. Sometimes this will be over here, or this will be in a different spot and it won't line up. You can still make it work. You just gotta run different fuel lines. And another thing, if you know anything about fuel pumps, see, this has got a letter P on it. P is for pulse. Like your pulse, taking your pulse. That runs off the crankcase. I don't know if you can see here, there's a little arrow. That's in, where the fuel's coming in. And over here is another little arrow right there in front of my nail. I don't know if the camera can see it. And that's the fuel coming out. Get it, boy! But this is what I like to use. I feel confident using these over those aftermarket garbage that they sell. And then this is a rotary fuel filter. The part number is in our video. Go watch our video on fuel filters where it explains about microns and everything else, and about some of these cheap fuel filters where the material in there will disintegrate and it'll start to plug up your carburetor or plug up your fuel pump. But we have a video on fuel filters. You might want to check that out. And then we're going to run some new fuel line. And again, I'm using the OEM brakes and scrap 'em fuel line. I know there's cheap knockoff fuel line online, but that stuff tends to deteriorate quickly and fall apart. This is the fuel line I use. So we're going to go ahead and remove this pump. Got a pair of pinchers. Got Mr. Pinchers. Hey, Mr. Pinchers.
Hi, Taryl.
I need you to pinch off some fuel line.
Okay, Taryl, I'm gonna pinch off some fuel line. Where's that fuel line at? Because that's all I do. I don't do nothing else. I'll just pinch off fuel lines. I won't pinch your finger. I won't pinch your toes. I won't pinch anything else. I just pinch fuel lines.
Oh, okay.
So if I stick my finger in your jaws, you're not going to pinch my finger? No. Now, I know the difference between flesh and fuel line because that's what I do. That's my job. I'm Mr. Fuel Line Pinchers. Okay, so I'm gonna stick my finger in your mouth. Don't stick your finger in my mouth. I'm not gonna pinch it. Don't even do it. Don't do that. Don't stick your finger in my mouth. Just give me some fuel line to pinch off. Leave me alone. All right, okay. There you go. Oh, that tastes good. Oh, I love that. I love the taste of fuel line in my mouth.
So I'm going to cut this off right here since we're going to replace it. And then just going to pull this off. Well, I don't even need to pull that off because we're replacing it. So I need to pull it off from here. And then here's our pulse line. Right here, and it looks in good shape. It's not all dry rotted or anything. So here's our new pump. There's P for pulse. We'll stick that in there. It's fitting in there a little loose. I don't like that. So I got my box of hose clamps. Yeah, there's one there. No, that's a little loose. Let's get one that fits a little more snug. There we go. Alright, we'll stick that on there. Put a clamp on here. There we go. Stick 2 bolts in. Now the fuel doesn't smell that bad. So, I'm sure the customer tried to probably do a few things. Yeah, that's on there tight. So maybe one of the things they tried to do, because I hear this a lot, is replace the gas first, because they try to get it running themselves. Release yourself. I got a tight grip on there, Taryl. Scooch me down a little bit and I'll pinch her off again. So this fuel filter has 1/4 inch and 5/16 barbs on it. So we don't need to scooch it all the way on there. And then since it's got this worm type clamp, we'll just go ahead and use that one over. We'll get us a new piece of fuel line here. We'll go about that long. Looks to be about 6 inches. A couple of more clamps. I got the regular brakes and scrap 'em clamps for this size hose, in case you're interested. 4228. It's 100 of them. And there's the individual part number. 710075. And they're made in Japan. They're for that fuel line we showed you earlier. See how it fits on there tight? These needle nose pliers. Grab them in the right spot, Mr. Needle Nose. Why do you need to make fun of my nose? I'm Mr. Needle Nose. But why do you have to call me Needle Nose? Because you're Needle Nose Pliers. See
See how the pliers talk to you? You're probably thinking, this guy's a weirdo. I will pinch and put those clamps in their proper place. Yeah, just do it. Quit talking. Alright, there we go. Mr. Needle Nose, come on, help us. Alright. Release Mr. Hose Clamp. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. Woo! Put me back in the toolbox. Put me back in the box. I will. Alright, so now we're gonna fire it up. Fire it up. Fire it up. So, Mr. Cameraman, let's concentrate on the fuel filter here. I'm gonna choke it. Leaky, so we took care of that. So what else are we gonna do here?
You're gonna check the oil, Taryl? Taryl, you should check the oil. The first thing you should have did was check the oil. What if you would have ran that thing and it didn't have any oil in it? And then it would have blew up.
Yeah, well, I probably would have heard it knocking first. Look at the oil. Look at that. So this thing, whoever owned it, and this is rare in my shop, this thing has been well maintained. Had a new air filter in it. The oil looks fresh. If you know anything about these kind of suckies, you don't screw this down in there. See, I'm turning it back like you're screwing it out. That's how you check the oil. That's how you check the oil level. It's hard to tell. It looks like it might even be a little bit overfilled. Let me try it again. You don't want to screw it down to check it. There's usually a sticker on there. Yeah, it's a little overfilled. It's about right. Looks like it's about right here. So it's got more than enough oil in it. So we'll have to slurp a little bit out. So yeah, this thing didn't really need much for being stored all that time. So we released the hydraulics on it. So in case you don't know how to do that, right here on these pumps, Mr. Cameraman can see, right down here, because this is an old school one that's got the separate pumps and wheel motors. Right here, this hex thing with the hole in it, that's how you release the pressure so you can freewheel this to move it. Usually takes a 5/8 wrench, or sometimes you can stick like a screwdriver or a punch or something in that hole. Now all you have to do is crack them loose. Don't try to take them out. You'll ruin these pumps. All you do is crack them loose. So these are loose. So I'm going to get a 5/8 wrench and I'm going to tighten these back up, and then we're going to see if it drives, and we're going to kick the blades on. So they even have a sticker on here that tells you that. But a lot of times I notice that the customers don't take the time to look their piece of equipment over. You have information all over your mower. Look at it. I see this all the time. All you have to do is look. You got eyeballs. Look and read. See what it says. I know you can read, but can you comprehend? There's a difference between reading and comprehending. You know what the difference is? You can read, but comprehending means understanding what you read. That's what comprehend means. So as I was tightening those relief valves on the pumps, I noticed that
this cooling fan on the pump is bad. See, this one is tight. See, it doesn't move. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. We're gonna look at that. I know I don't have one in stock. I'm gonna have to order it. But let's take these two 7/16 headed bolts out and take a look at this and see what's going on with that. Okay, something got in here and ruined that cooling fan. So that's gonna have to be replaced because you need to keep that pump cool. So I'm gonna have to look this up and replace it. But we're not gonna have time for that by the time this video airs. But I will get that replaced for the customer. I will look it up. If, again, it's available. Because we're having trouble getting parts for a lot of this stuff. So everything is sketchy all the time. And not everything is available on Scamazon. I mean on Scamazon. You're gonna have to bleep that. Okay, so now we're gonna make sure the blades engage and all that stuff. And I notice this, see? Something going on with the seat. Pretty obvious. So there's a T-nut that goes in here, and there's a bolt that goes in there. So the bolt is missing. I'm sure it's 1/4 20. So all I need to do is get a 1/4 20 bolt and bolt that back in there. Let's see what's on the other side. It's got a 3/8 head on it, but I'm sure it's a 1/4 20 bolt with a 3/8 head. So let me go get a bolt and we'll fix the seat now. So I got a 1/4 20 by 3/4 inch long bolt. And I got a flat washer with a lock washer. And let's line this up here. Let's see if we can get it into that nutsert, or that T-nut they use. Uh-oh. Is it tightening? No. Alright, I'm going to take this cushion off. So I need to get a 3/8 for the other side. Find out what's going on with this cushion here. Maybe that T-nut's spinning in there. Yeah, maybe the wood might be rotted. See, now I can't get this one out. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh yeah. There's the problem. That T-nut. Yeah, see, it just pushed in there. Well, that's not good. So this is kind of rotted. Maybe we can find it through here. There it is. There's Mr. T-nut. In case you don't know what a T-nut is, it's a nut that's got some metal prongs on it that stab into the wood. I think I got some new ones, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to fish one in there. So this one's good. We don't need that one. Where did it go? Disappeared. Here, that's down there on the ground somewhere. All right, let me go get a new T-nut. I've got these. So that's what a T-nut looks like, in case you don't know. And there's an old staple. So it might grab if I can get it from the inside again. If I can use doctor-like skills and get it to come up through there, and then we can get it to secure that seat back down, because that's the size right there, 1/4 So let me get some doctoring tools and see if I can fish it up in there to get it to grab again. But that's how it's going to be from the inside. So I'm just going to pop these staples out, and then I'll just restaple this again. So that'll give me enough room to get in there. And then I'll just use the, let me get a pair of side cutters. Always work good. For pulling these staples out, you don't want to cut them, you just want to kind of grab them and pull them out. That's what I always do. I just kind of grab them. I don't want to cut them off. And of course you want to throw them away right away. You don't want them to hit the ground, because they'll get in the tire. Let me get this one off of here too. Oh, would they double them up? Yeah. Double them up right there. All right, let me throw these away. Let me get this one. But you can see how this seat is constructed. They put 2 of them in here too. You can see how this seat is constructed, where they cut a piece of wood this way. There's some springs going in here, and there's some foam. So now see, I can get my fingers under there. So now I can just take this. I just wonder if it's gonna, yeah, there's not enough. There's no meat there to grab it. Let me try to turn it. Let me try something. Because the wood is kind of rotted. Let me get a longer bolt. See if I can kind of turn it into a position where it'll grab some of that wood, like this. And then we can pull it in. Otherwise, you're going to have to fill that hole in. Or I may have to, I don't know if I got enough room, I may have to move it a little bit. But I like to be back in that same spot. So I'm thinking if I can get it in this position, I can pull it in. And I can do that with a longer 1/4 bolt. So let me get a bolt. Let's throw these away. So let me see if I can grab some wood under here. But this piece of wood here feels like it's all rotted away from the inside. I can feel it. There's nothing there for me to grab. So now I got another idea to fix this. Because I want to fix it. I don't want to have to like a lot of shops, you just need a new seat. Just put a new seat on it. You know how I'm gonna fix it? With Taryl putty. Okay, so I undid the rest of the staples and I pulled this whole piece of plywood out of there, and you can tell that they had some other kind of, you know, pieces of metal in there that grip it. I don't know what these things are called. Maybe you know what they're called. There's some kind of staples that hold it, and you can see this is all rotted away. Now, if you got a piece of 1/2 inch plywood, I guess, or 3/8 plywood, you could cut another piece of plywood to that shape and stick it in there. But I don't have any right now. And we're trying to get this video done again because we don't anticipate this happening. So then, I mean, I could go get a piece of plywood or whatever. I'm going to look around and see if I got a piece of plywood. But if I don't, I could use that Taryl putty. I could push that Taryl putty in there. We can let it harden up. And this will grab it from the other side. But yeah, see, this is all, it's all rotted away. But a little bit of Taryl putty will fix all that. Plus, we sell that Taryl putty in our online store. So let's just Taryl putty it. So we can show you the multiple uses of Taryl putty. When you're in a pinch, maybe you might be in a pinch working at home on your mower and you're like, I don't want to have to go and find a piece of plywood and try to cut that and knock on the neighbor's door and disturb him, and he's got a piece of 3/4 plywood and I need a piece of 1/2 inch plywood and he needs a piece of 3/4 plywood and we ain't got that plywood. So there's the Taryl putty, and look at there, it's got a picture of me on it. So I'm going to cut a sliver of this off with my knife, which is illegal in many countries, not this one. Well, maybe it is this one, but I haven't got caught yet. So you need it, and if it starts sticking to you, you can put a little water on it. It's not going to hurt it. That water will evaporate. So you want to knead it up real good. Because that's how you mix it, to make it activate. And then I'm going to roll it. Remember when you used to play with Play-Doh as a kid? You can roll it into a worm. I'm going to put my little worm around there. And then we'll press it into the hole there. Oh yeah. Now we gotta let it sit and harden. Now, I've used this on many projects. For you grass rats that know, I fixed a big chunk out of a mower deck on the mop mower. Check out the mop mower video and see how I fixed that with a big piece of this. I still use that mop mower on my property to this day, and that piece has never broken off. We powder coated over it. This can take powder coating because it can withstand up to 500 degrees. So our guy that does our powder coating buys it by the case because he uses it to fill in imperfections like a Bondo. So if you have something that's got a bunch of pits in it or pock marks from rust, you can use this like a Bondo. Fill it in there, you could sand it, and then when you powder coat over it, it will not burn away, and you'll get a perfect finish. This stuff is amazing. But again, like any product, it has its limitations. I know they tell you on there that you can drill and tap it and all that. You can't do that. It's epoxy putty. But for other stuff, it works good. I've used it on aluminum motorcycle cases that were cracked and were leaking. I sealed them from the inside. I built up other parts of stuff with it. So you just got to get it and play with it, because it's a putty. It's like silly putty. You play with it like putty. But for this, it'll work. Once that hardens up, I'll reinstall it in there. I'll restaple this vinyl to it. Again, in a pinch, if you need to do that, maybe you're in an area where, you know, you're not, you know, able to get, you know, you may live far away is what I'm saying. It's like, oh, the nearest Home Depot or whatever I can get a piece of plywood is like 40 miles away. Well, if you had some of this Taryl putty, you can do what I'm doing and fix this. All you gotta do is be patient. Go back in your cabin and wait for it to harden up. All right, so let's focus here on the tires again. Remember we started off with the tires? And look, this one's going flat. This one's still hard as a cart. This one's going flat. We squirted the soapy water on it. I haven't seen it foam up anywhere. So I'm gonna get a jack. We're gonna jack it up. I'm gonna spray some more water on it, and we're gonna see if we can find out where it's leaking from. So this is what goes on daily at the shop when we're working on stuff. So I'm walking you through what I would do if I was working on your piece of equipment, or if somebody here at the shop was working on your piece of equipment. This is what we're gonna do. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go, hey, why don't we fix that seat, Taryl? Hey, the seat's broke on this. Should we fix the seat? And I'll be like, yeah, we're gonna fix the seat. And if we're not sure about fixing the seat, then we're gonna call the customer and find out, hey, the seat is broke. Do you want us to fix the seat? And then they're gonna go, yeah. So we do that a lot. You know, whatever's not on the tag, what it came in for, if we find other things wrong with it, we're gonna call you. And we're gonna say, hey, do you want this done? And they're either gonna say, yes, they want it fixed, or no, don't worry about that. I don't care about the seat, or I don't care about this, or I don't care about that. So we're not just gonna surprise you when you come to pick up your mower and go, well, I didn't want all that stuff done to it. You know, because again, if, you know, I would be mad too if I told you to do, a few things to it, and then I come to pick it up and you did all this other stuff that I didn't ask for. Yeah, I'm gonna be mad. But no, we don't do that. We call you with the phone. We pick up the phone and we call you and we say, hey, do you want this done? You want that done? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay, so I aired it up again. This time I got it off the ground so I can get that soapy water on there, and look right here. I don't know, Mr. Cameraman, can you get in there? Look, it's leaking from the bead. So I have to pull this wheel off, and we'll get it off the bead. Put some bead sealer on there. Probably do both sides since we have it off. And then again, when this is in here, there's grease fittings on here. So we're gonna grease it. Wherever there's grease fittings, we're gonna grease. There's grease fittings here on these anti-scalp wheels, which are adjustable. And look what it says, grease daily. So even when you're not using the mower, you should go out there and grease it, because they want you to grease it daily. No. But some people take everything literally. Like, I gotta get out there and grease those wheels again. They say to grease it daily. Now these, there's no grease fittings on here. But, I mean, if this was your mower and you wanted to go an extra step,
you could drill and tap and put a grease fitting in there and grease this. I would suggest putting a relief hole in this cap, because what's going to happen is if you drill and tap and put a grease fitting in there and you start to grease it, if it doesn't come out of here, it's going to push that cap off. So if you had a little tiny 1/16 hole in there, as you grease it, it'll come out of there, and that way you'll know it's full. But again, that would be up to you if you wanted to do that. So we need to take this off, break it down, and grease it, and fix the leaks on the bead. Now, this one's still hard. I'm going to check it anyway. Plus, this is a little stiff, see? This needs to be greased. This hasn't been greased in a while. But I'm going to check it anyway because this tire was flat when it came in. So let's make sure it's not leaking from the bead. Now that I got it off the ground. And then we'll check for any other grease fittings on the spindles. They want a new set of blades. We'll put blades on it. But according to the tag, it said to service it and check it over. And again, the customer will tell you this when they bring it in. If you see anything it needs, just do it. That's what this customer said. If you see anything that you think it needs, just go ahead and do it. Like the seat, I know if I would have left that, they would have went like, well, why didn't you fix the seat? You know, I would have paid you. And then they'd be mad because they'd be like, well, he didn't fix the seat. You know, and I told them if he saw anything it needed done, to just do it. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that seat. I'm not going to have to call them on that. That's why you got to write everything down on the tag if you got a shop. And that's what we do. But again, when you have other people working for you, sometimes they don't always do what they think or know or what we tell them to do. And that's where the trouble starts. And then you always got to smooth those issues over. So far this looks like it's okay. But again, we'll have a couple of days once it's done to make sure everything's good. But we'll fix that tire. And if that tire goes flat again, after we grease it, then we'll bead seal it. But right now it looks like it's holding there. I don't see anything. Alright, fix the front tire, put the bead sealer on it, fix the seat, put that piece back in, worked good. We had to let that Taryl putty harden for a few hours, but we were able to bolt the seat back on. It's all good now. Now we're going to start it, kick the blades on, make sure all that works. And then the last thing we'll do is wash it, which is what we do. We wash it before we give it back to the customer. And then after we wash it, then we go around and grease everything. Because we don't want any water to get in the spots where it shouldn't be. And if there's water in there, when we grease it, it'll push the water out. So we always grease it last. So let's start it, and I'm going to pull it out a little bit because you never know what's underneath the deck. We never want to start the deck or kick the blades on because there might be something under there and we don't want anybody to get injured.
typical repair that goes on at the shop. Like I said, now we'll go ahead and wash it. We'll clean all this off. I like to get this off of here first by hand because it makes a mess with the pressure washer. So I always tell the guys, get all that off first by hand as much as you can. We even take a shop vac and vacuum most of that up. We'll lower the deck all the way down. Then we'll go ahead and we'll pull these covers off. Even a lot of times there's a lot of crap under there. We'll wash it real good. And then we'll go back and grease it. We take a leaf blower. We take our, we got a battery powered one that we use, which is good for that. We take the leaf blower. Sometimes we'll take the mower out to a grassy area and we'll take the leaf blower and blow all this stuff off. Instead of vacuuming it, depends on what time of year. If it's cold out, we'll vacuum it. But now that it's warm, we'll blow it off real good. Wash it, then we'll go back and blow it again with this. Get all the water off of there. Then we'll grease it. Check it over one more time. Take it out, test drive it, make sure everything's good, make sure we don't see any oil leaks or any other issues. Bill it out. Call the customer. And there's your dinner. Well, there you have it, grass rats. That's how we do it, start to finish. When something comes in the shop, we just show you the process that we do and how we do it. You know, we go through it. You got to ask a lot of questions when they bring the piece of equipment in, what they want, what they expect. You write it all down so that you're covering your keister. And if you're not sure, you always can call them. You have their phone number. You can call them in case it starts to snowball out of control, so they can make the decisions on how much they want done or not done. In this case, pretty well maintained piece of equipment. Been sitting 3 years. I'm very surprised. It's been sitting 3 years, and it started and ran. But hey, this one they got off pretty cheap. I still got to order the fan for the hydro unit there. So this one's not going to leave just yet after we wash it and all that. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what we do and the process we do at our shop. So maybe this will inspire you in case you have a shop or you're working out of your home what to do. I do know that the customers really like when the mower comes back clean, when they drop it off and it's all nasty and all nasty and ugly looking, Even though they may be paying a lot of money for it, when they see it, when it's all cleaned up and stuff, they're like, oh, that kind of takes the edge off that bill. So keep that in mind if you're doing this out of your house or whatever, or you're a backyarder, working out of your house, or if you have a regular shop, they do like that. So, if you like this video, hit the like button, and as always, there's your dinner. Woo! Walking you through what we do.
So I was at Portillo's the other day, because I got stock in it, and I'm ordering a beef sandwich, and the girl's like, do you want cheese on that beef sandwich? And I'm looking at her like, that cheese is an extra $1. So I say, what do I look like, a millionaire to you?
Evening, ladies. I hate to break up your conversation about Portillo's, even though I love Portillo's too. We just had beef sandwich here yesterday. It was great. Oh, it's phenomenal. I got the cheese on mine. I got stock in it too, But I believe one of you owes me 10 G's.
Is he talking about you, Taryl?
No, you idiot. Don't you remember yesterday? You owe the man 10 G's, or he's gonna remodel your face.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got it right here. Come and get it, tough guy.
That feels a little thin. I don't feel like 10 G's to me. How about you, Vic? What do you think?
Nah, that ain't 10 G's, Anthony.
What is this, some kind of sick joke? There's only 9 G's here. The last G looks like a 6. Where's my money?
You want me to take his knees, Anthony?
No, I want to do the honors this time. You got to do the guy last time, and that looked fun. Plus, it's my 10 G's. You don't even have 10 G's to your name.
So I was thinking, I don't have your money, but there might be a way I can get you the 10. I'm hearing birdies, Taryl. Is there a nest around here somewhere? Now I'm hearing bells.
Can you believe that, Vic? 2 good whacks to the bowling ball, and he don't even fall down. This guy's denser than I thought.
I'm sorry. Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you, Vic. Are you mad? I'm not mad. We're not mad. No.
Yeah, it's still not working. How about I just get you the money? I'll be right back. Here you go.
Look at that, Vic. Cold hard cash, baby. These are the G's I'm talking about right here. Not them fake G's that were written on a napkin. And it better all be here.
Don't worry. It's all there.
Come on, Vic. Let's go buy some garlic bread. If you know what I mean.
We going to Cagliano's?
Nah, Lucchini's. They got the best garlic bread in town. My treat.
Personally, I prefer Cagliano's.
Cagliano's? Get out of here. They was going way too heavy on the garlic. Hey, I'll tell you what. When you're buying, we'll go to Cagliano's. All right? So I guess we're never going to Cagliano's. Come on, let's get out of here. I want a meatball.
So Andy, where did you get that $10,000?
Oh, where do you think? From your register.
What? Andy, you better have my money back in that register by tomorrow.
Oh yeah? Or else what?
Or else I'm gonna crack this bottle over your head.
Well, I don't have $10,000. So you might as well just crack that bottle over my head. I love the sound of breaking glass.
Hey, wait a minute, Vic. Andy pulled a fast one on us. This is fake money. Turn around. He's gonna be sleeping with the fishes.
Turn around, but we just got to Lucchini's.
You need your head examined. How am I gonna pay for the Lucchinis without the real money? Turn it around.